Do you like trash? Is there nothing that gets you more excited than being cock-blocked by penalties? Then welcome to the Thursday Night Invitational. Tennessee versus Jacksonville. Because what other NFL teams would willingly be regulars to this ill-conceived cash grab? All of your favorite time wasters are here. Screen passes, near unplayable field conditions, terrible roughing the passer calls. Here's Tom Brady's seal of disapproval. Is the power out again? No, that's just the Tennessee offense sucking air. Tough choices. Do you choose between Marcus Mariota or the white Marcus Mariota? Fourth down decision time, Vrabel. You're gonna go for it on the 4th and 6? Perhaps get a line next time, buddy. Look at this piece of man. Gardner Minshew. He threw a pass. I repeat, he threw a pass. Holy fucking shit. This is no contest, but let's drag everything out because we hate you and Jalen Ramsey's gonna be gone soon. Congratulations, you've suffered an injury. Thursday Night Football. Only on the NFL Network. But your cable provider probably dropped it like Dede Westbrook. New England, congratulations! You're today's recipient of a free win! That's right, a free win! You get to play at home against a perennial doormat in the New York Jets. Look at how they'll pretend to hype this matchup as a clash of QBs selected with the 199th pick. That's the only way these two will be compared. It is a stomping of all things Jets. The offense squashed, the defense emasculated, the coaching staff bug-eyed and regretting their life choices. Don't worry, Jets, you're not in a nightmare, you've been dead for years. We'll see you again in a few weeks for another ass-kicking. I will now list the positives of the Miami Dolphins' play against the Dallas Cowboys. They showed effort. That's it. The rest was just poorly prepared and sloppy play. Dallas was even channeling their inner Mike Tomlin by playing down to you in heinous fashion in the first half. Yet the Dolphins aren't just choosing to tank, they are deep into the meta. Josh Rosen was finally given the reins to the offense only to realize a horrible truth. He just went from a shitty scenario to an even shittier one. At least the Cardinals had Larry Fitzgerald. We will commit you to the Tim Couch home of broken quarterbacks in December. Have fun in the meantime. The Raiders thought they were done being victimized by outstanding individual performances last week. How wrong you were, Oakland. In the land of Norse gods, may I introduce another wrecking ball to your plans. Dalvin Cook. He will destroy any semblance of your run defense and make you go home crying to mama. There were no answers for Gruden's grinders against Minnesota's game plan until it was far too late. Just a flat-out stuffing. Maybe next week you won't be victimized by better teams, Oakland. Let's take a look at who's next. The Colts. Winnable? Maybe? I don't know. A time where Buffalo is undefeated. We are truly in a new frontier. The fortunate thing is that they've had a really easy schedule up to this point. The Jets with their butt fumbling, the Giants with the last gasp of Eli, and now the Bungles. Let's just say Cincinnati lived up to their namesake. Turnovers, failing to capitalize on opportunities, just a generally sad experience. However, the Bills weren't exactly lighting the world on fire. They allowed the Bungles to stay in the game and even take the lead in the fourth quarter. Would the Bills blow it? Would our heroes bring false hope to the denizens of southwestern Ohio? That answer would be no, because Cincinnati knows nothing about the word clutch. Even then, they still have a chance to win.
Gets it off with 2 on the play clock, throws to the high post, and it's intercepted!
Andy Dalton is no longer the best quarterback in Buffalo. Bungles fail again, but Buffalo still has doubters. Next week is the true test against the Patriots. Good luck, Bills. We're all counting on you. If I were to take a walk in the shoes of a Broncos fan, I would come to these conclusions over the past few weeks. First, we were fucked over royally against the Bears. And secondly, holy shit, our team is terrible. It's nothing to do with the Packers being better than you in nearly every single facet, or being one step ahead of you in the play calling or scheming department. No, what makes me the most concerned is that pass rush. You want to flakegate this Denver defense should be suspended 4 games for having no pressure whatsoever. You boast an outstanding defensive guru as your coach. You boast Von Miller and Bradley Chubb as edge rushers. And you don't even get a turnover or quarterback sack in the first 3 games? Yes, Denver, you are truly in a world of suck. Green Bay just toyed with them all game. The Broncos had nothing for them. It was a massacre that the score doesn't tell. It's panic time, boys. I wish I was being hyperbolic. It's at this point if I wonder if the Atlanta Falcons will ever stop underachieving for their talent level. Here we see a matchup that should be winnable on paper against the Colts. Even then, Atlanta stalls out of the gate. There's flatlining and there's whatever Atlanta did in the first half. What that game was to Atlanta fans was Keanu Neal suffering another devastating injury, throwing his helmet in frustration, and then being flagged for it. Even in defeat, you're still getting screwed. A total tactical spanking by Indianapolis. Frank Reich just putting on a coaching clinic against the hapless Falcons. 16 penalties against Atlanta. 16. That is all. Yes, they made it close in the end, but it was already too late. The concern sets in their eyes, but at least you aren't the team you beat last week. So beginneth the cycle of Philadelphia sports. Gobs of brutal injuries to key players, chronic underachieving, questionable management decisions, pet players who shouldn't be getting that much playing time. This isn't an NFL team, this is merely an extension of the Phillies season. That was all put on display at home for an angry and disillusioned faithful who want blood. Today's formula was Carson Wentz being let down repeatedly by the awful scabs replacing certain regulars. You want something broken, just give it to Nelson Aguilar. No matter the circumstance, he will drop it. Give this defense any assignment known to man, they will fail it. Have a player's head nearly ripped off by a face mask, the refs will not penalize it. Detroit is merely giddy with glee as they get to face another team failing miserably to let them walk to a lucky victory. Even then, it wasn't enough for them. They had to rub it in your face.
Good snap. Right hold and it's blocked.
The Lions are literally telling you, here, take it, have the win. We don't need to be 2-0-1. We prefer balance just like our offense. And even then, you still fuck it up. Detroit, you are the luckiest sons of bitches to ever grace the planet. If this were a just world, you would be 0-3. Hurry and run out of here with the win before I call you frauds. Here it is, folks, the first true game of the NFL calendar year. An upstart Ravens team looking to usurp the successor's throne against Mahomes and his Chiefs. Kansas City goes straight to work flexing their offensive attack. Woe be to those that tried to cover McCall Hardman on a deep route. The secondary played like fools against Mahomes and his sorcery. Baltimore, though, has their own talent to showcase. Lamar Jackson, boasting confidence with the feat not seen since Vic. A truly electrifying athlete. Once again, throwing accuracy left a good bit to be desired, but there are flashes of brilliance here. The Ravens even surged back to make this an uncomfortably close affair, but the Chiefs will pull out in the end. This game showed me more about Baltimore than the first two did. Not many teams can go into Arrowhead and live to tell the tale. Be proud of your efforts. Except if you're Earl Thomas. Then you will have to eat endless crow. Well, Carolina, it happened. Cam Newton is fucked. His foot is going to keep him out for this game, thus forcing you to start the unsung Kyle Allen in his stead. It's at this point where an epiphany happens. The Panthers start to roll once again. In his debut start, Kyle Allen was absolutely balling. Making excellent reads, creating space for Christian McCaffrey, slinging the ball around like Cam in his prime. This excellent game comes with a massive asterisk that it's against a terrible defense in Arizona, but you can at least have hope again. Even if Cam's out for a good bit, I'm interested to see what Allen can do against other opponents. Season may be back on, Carolina. I figured this game would be a close, tight-knit affair. In reality, we got New Orleans dominating on all sides of the ball and in local jazz culture. Bridgewater wasn't Breeze, but he put together a well-managed offensive game. The defense stuffing Seattle's rushing attack would do the rest. Russell Wilson would torch that secondary in the fourth quarter, making this closer than it looked, but it wouldn't be enough. Seattle just kept shooting itself in the foot for 3 quarters. By the time they got their shit together, it was too late. The Saints hang on for victory. I would do something about that god-awful secondary, though, New Orleans. This is now the second game it's nearly cost you a win. Maybe stop taking penalties when you make interceptions, too. That'd be nice. Sports philosophers and shit posters from across the land analyzing this game will be perplexed at the findings. They will gaze at the final results and come to one conclusion. How do you force 5 turnovers in a game and still not win? The Steelers were the lucky recipients of letting golden opportunities pass them by. Not as if they were passing further than 10 yards in most cases. The offensive play calling for the most part was both predictable and spineless. San Francisco was merely sitting on the run most of the time. Why do you waste the valiant efforts of that defense? Of Minka Fitzpatrick's greatest game as a professional? Only 6 points off 5 turnovers. It was only a matter of time before the Niners woke up, and they eventually did. Even as they fumbled near the goal line, again, the Steelers merely returned the favor in prime field position. They only had about 2 good offensive plays. It was that bad. An 0-3 start with a team that can't tank because they traded their first-round pick. As a salty Yinzer, I am starting to shit myself. Blood pressure's starting to rise. This game is more critical for both teams than they realize. 2 squads with playoff aspirations coming off rather sluggish starts to their seasons. The Chargers in particular coming off an embarrassing self-inflicted loss. You think they come out with guns a-blazing, right? If by team you mean Keenan Allen, you would be correct. He was the only reason their offense had any sort of pulse. The defense tried to hold their own. Keyword is tried. With Deshaun Watson, you can only try to contain his talents. It did not work in this instance. Houston surges with an incredible second half, and the Chargers are now in a spot of deep concern. 2 winnable games squandered due to their own miscues. I'm just hoping this isn't a return to the horrifically underachieving Chargers teams of old. Too much good here for this mercenary squad to be dismantled. Behold, Giants, the man you wanted dead back in April, Daniel Jones. He is starting his first career game against a team looking to become relevant again. In the beginning, there were signs that there could be something there. Nothing too overpowering, but he wasn't immolating on the football field besides a few fumbles. Plus, he was showing much more life than Eli. It's at this point where we realize the Giants don't have a defense and are singed by Jameis and his band of merry men. With Tampa leading 28-10 at halftime, there is little hope for the G-Men. But then some argue about their fate. Maybe they found their magical horseshoe that was displaced by the Patriots. Perhaps Eli was using his supernatural powers to guide the Giants to victory in spirit. Or it could have been that Roger Goodell had money on the Buccaneers losing. Any way you put it, a miracle happened. The Giants were roaring back under the might of Daniel Jones. Let us watch the young apprentice at his work.
On 4th and 5, Jones steps up, takes off, he's in! Touchdown!
Incredible. The son of the derp used his developing magic to have the defense leave the middle of the field wide open. A stunning turn of events. This is when we once again realize the Giants have no defense. Oh well, good game, New York. You can at least have hope for the future. No way Tampa fucks this up now.
Matt Gay's kick is no good!
Good news, Tampa, you still don't have a kicker. To win this game, though, the Giants had to sacrifice something dear to them. The cost? Saquon Barkley. Enjoy your Pyrrhic victory, New York. The Bucs deliberately took a delay of game penalty because Arians thought his kicker was better from range? The same one that missed an extra point earlier in the game? If you weren't a reputable coach, I want you fired on the spot. Despite incredible hype and the lack of understanding the potential downfalls of the Browns, they are a frustrating bunch. To me, Cleveland is the equivalent of Martavis Bryant. $1 million talent, 10-cent head. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Cleveland. Your play calling is absolutely fucked right now. The more I see, the more I believe Freddie Kitchens is the coaching equivalent of Duck Duck Goose. Look at the team he's leading. Predictable, coasting on talent, highly undisciplined, and failing to pay attention to details. Are you trying to kill Baker behind that line? Because it sure as hell looks like it. The damning thing is the Rams offense couldn't do anything most of the game. This was completely winnable, but these are the Browns. Nothing good comes easy. Like this 4th and 9 where you run a draw play out of shotgun? I have the football savvy of a kindergartner and even I know that's a stupid play call. Somehow you're still in the game despite your baffling decisions. You have all 3 timeouts under 2 minutes, yet you're letting the clock keep running. 1st and goal with a strong running back? Call 4 straight passes out of shotgun, 3-5 wideout sets. Did you have drinks with Sarkeesian before the game or something? This is where that draw play could have worked, you know? Sorry, Browns fans, your team has a lot of work to do. ESPN spends almost $2 billion a year for this shit. Ponder that for a moment. They get the privilege to broadcast an uninspired blowout to an empty hell that even Satan forgot to a captivated audience of Bears fans. This game is in DC. I know I use these adjectives pretty liberally, but it's absolutely meant here. The Redskins are fucking garbage. A team that fancies themselves as terms like competitive and inspiring, but keep repeating the same damn mistakes they made 20 years ago. Shit coaching with shit players with shit execution with a shit owner who deserves all the shit he gets. The Bears defense didn't even have to try. You were just giving them turnovers with ease. It was like this all game. No wonder why the fanbase doesn't give a shit. The fun part is this is going to continue for perpetuity until Dan Snyder is gone. And that ain't happening soon. Is it worth the cult of personality? Well, the gods always demand sacrifice. Let us lament those we have lost this week.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
May the fallen be blessed in the football afterlife. Amen. You've seen all of the injuries that have been piling up across the NFL landscape. It's tragic to see, which is all the more important for their security and protection as well as yours. The internet is full of these potential injuries. Hackers, malware, compromises to your privacy. Unlike the unfortunate souls taken by the injury gods, you have an option to save yourself this fate. ExpressVPN. With world-class protection boasting 94 countries of service, there is no better way to arm yourself against the enemies of your online hell. In the life of this NFL season, your streaming game has to be in peak form. You can't allow yourself to be victim to pop-ups, malware, and potential compromises to your Sunday game plan. ExpressVPN can solidify such an approach, streaming with the ease and comfort of a safe experience. I use it with trust and loyalty for my streaming needs, so why shouldn't you? I know what you're thinking. What's in it for me? How about getting it for less than $7 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee? Even get 3 months of this world-class protection free. Find out how by going to expressvpn.com/utree. Just like an NFL game plan, your confidentiality is sacred. Ensure it with ExpressVPN. Now go out there and browse with comfort.
And ironically, being one of my old co-workers took the ladder off the truck, raised it up, and was assisting people down. My man just started throwing babies out the window. Wow. We was catching them, unlike Aguilar.